Bear with me. All right. Okay. As I said last night, I was I'm gonna go live again. Oh shit! There we go. You put me in the center there. God damn it. Yeah, I really gotta learn this camera shit. I'm very good at it. Anyway, so as I said last night, or what's happening, y'all? Going live again. As I said last night, I was going to do some more work on this. So I'm doing some more work on this. I'm in the sewing room, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I did some more work earlier, listening to my daily podcast and shit that I listen to, and then I figured I'd go live. So I got a good start on the small pouch. If you remember last night, this is the small pouch that goes onto the big pouch, and then the big pouch goes onto the long pouch, right? And then shoulder straps are going to go on top of that, right? So anyway, this is the pieces that we that I made last night, right? Okay. It's got a nice zipper. Oops, shit. Got a nice zipper top to it. And then on the inside of this one, if you look down in there, I made a little organizer on the back side there. Yeah, there we go. You can see it a little bit right there. Down inside there for cleaning kits, magazines, pens, whatever, And so anyway, what I did was, that's where when I was talking about last night, where you gotta really plan out your moves, because you gotta make sure you do step B right, because once you get to step X, if you fuck up on, I don't know, if you fuck up on plan, or if you fuck up on plan or step F, then you gotta go all the way back, and break out your seam ripper and start popping shit apart, and then depending on how far you've gotten on your project, you just scrap the whole damn thing and just save it for whatever's, So anyway, so what you gotta do is you want to make a little organizer on the inside of this thing. So you gotta make sure you gotta plan out your stitching so it's on the back side of this one, so it's gonna be on the front side of this, so that it's on the inside of this. So like I said, you gotta plan your stitching out, because once you sew the outside on right there, then it's damn difficult to get back at that stuff. So anyway, that's that. I'm working on the this is the top, bottom, and sides of the bigger pouch. Now I got that all together. So now I'm working on the pouches, the little pouches that are gonna go on the side, right? And so I made one piece, or I made one that was kind of like a concept to kind of see how it comes together, and came out pretty good. So just like I said last night, you sew everything inside out. So I cut out a funky shape. Cut out a shape for a box, right? And then you sew the corners, sew them inside out. And then you got to do this seam all the way around, right, to make sure make sure your stuff doesn't unravel on you. Then you do the top. Although doing the Velcro, doing that in the flat is always helpful. And then you turn the right side out, and you've got a pouch, right? And then that right there is what gets attaches to the outside of that, like that. And then eventually I got to make a flap. But anyway, I gotta make two more or three more of these. See here. Oh yeah, but the bottom ones will be 10 inches tall. the top ones are 7 inches, so I'll just cut 7 inches off. But anyway, when you get to the point where you got to start making a few, you got to make like a few of the same thing, you know. Say like you got to make some pouches, or you got to make some flaps, or you got to do like a fucking whatever, you know. So anyway, you got to have multiples of them, and it helps to make a pattern, right? So if you got an old box laying around, make a pattern, right? You know, plan out your moves. That's there right there is essentially what that shape is, right? So make a pattern, or first make a test piece. You know, if the piece works out well, then make your pattern, right? So I just got done making this pattern here. That way, you don't got to sit there and measure out each individual piece. Like I said last night, I'm getting smarter about this. Because also another thing I used to do is, instead of making one of these, I used to cut each individual piece and then sew all those together, and then, you know, so it's just, you know, this is, you know, not like I'm in a hurry or anything like that, but as I was talking about last night, if I want to eventually at some point make or try my hand at like a small tactical gear company or whatever, or business or whatever, which I'm not expecting that to happen, but anyway, then I need to at least get to the point where I need to be efficient with my time, right? So now what you do to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like, you take your cardboard and score it. You score just the one side. Like that. Score just the one side, because that way the cardboard bends a lot easier, you know, and that doesn't put huge creases in it. All right. So anyway, that there. If I can get that to, there we go. There goes that. There we go. And then, now you get an idea of what something looks like in like a two-dimensional space. You get an idea of what it starts to look like in a three-dimensional space. And then also what's cool about making patterns is you can make notes to yourself on what things are supposed to look like, right? So I have like, I made a note here of like a 1/2 inch seam that goes all the way around. You know, I have the dimensions of the pouch itself, and that way I can put it in my little stack of patterns here. Like this right here. That's for making a helmet cover, you know, and then also makes you make a little note for yourself, like how many pieces it's gonna take, you know, what it all entails, right? So there's that. This right here, you've all probably seen my 3-wheeler, my trike, you know, that pouch that's in it. That's the pattern I made for the pouch. You know, there again, make notes on like what it all entails, what, you know, how big the piece is needed, whatever. I made that out of some potato chip box. So something I seem to make be making a little more often, like use jackets and tops and whatever. I needed to do that as well. So again, patterns, and then make notes to yourself on like that right there. I needed to make a note on how the collar would fold. Right, that's the sleeves. That's the collar. That's the main body of it, right? And then the pants that I've made. I spent a whopping, where is it? Yeah. Spent a whopping $2.97. Went to Walmart. That's, you got a pattern. And I've used this pattern, 7 or 8 times now for making pants. I think what I'm going to do is, instead of using this, because this thing, it's tissue paper, so it's super, super fragile. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this pattern onto cardboard, and that way it'd be a lot stronger. So, because like I said, it's very, very fragile, and you know, it's falling apart. So anyway, so that's patterns. It's helpful information. So now what I need to do is I need to cut out some material. So put that down like that, and that's over here like so. Do I have any loose pieces, or do I got to break up the main roll? Alright, I have no loose pieces. So, yeah, fuck. So, gotta break up the main big roll. I think there's, I forget how many yards there is here, but it's long. See, like I said, I'm not a very good cameraman. I'm not a very good cameraman. Yeah, I didn't think anybody would be watching this shit. Like I said last night, it's not the most exciting. Not the most exciting content, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. There we go. I wish I had a longer table. This man out was kind of handy. But anyway. I got a good deal on this, or else this would be fucking, you know, this would be like $200 of material here. Damn it. I eventually want to make a bigger ruck, or not another ruck, but I want to make it in a style of that 3-color desert one that I made. I want to do it in that. Is something off here? Something looks off, and maybe I'm just seeing shit. What the fuck? What am I seeing here? Or maybe I'm just... Oh. There we go. I'm going to compare the bigger piece. Actually, no. You know what? This will work. Why does that look off? And maybe that's why I got a good deal on it. Or maybe I'm just seeing things. Let's see here. I'm trying to, because the pattern. Oh shit! Sorry now. The pattern tends to repeat every yard or so. And so I'm trying to find weird. Let me grab the camera here and see if y'all see anything. I didn't think anybody'd be watching this shit, like I said. Okay, so here's what I've been working with. This stuff right here. Oops, sorry now. Am I just seeing shit? Or is there something different? I mean, it's not a major difference, but it's something's different. Something's off. Or am I just seeing shit? You know, there's more of the stuff I've been working with. It almost looks like the pattern is smaller. But then again, I could be seeing shit as well. Maybe it's because most of this is a smaller piece that I've been working with, and this is a big roll. So maybe I'm seeing the whole pattern now. Well, I mean, I'm still going to use it, but maybe I'm probably just seeing shit. I mean, I need reading glasses after all. So, I mean, my vision is starting to go on me. So, put that on the jaw. And now, let's make 3 of these. And then we'll just cut 2 of them down to a shorter. So we'll just line it up. One. Two. 3. 3. Where the fuck is that? Oh, because they cut it unevenly from the shop. Bastards. There we go. There's 3 of them shits. Yeah, I think I might have been seeing shit because now that I got this broken down into smaller pieces, I don't see the big wide spread anymore. So it works. Like I said, even if there was something off, I'm still going to use it. So I want to continue making this thing. like I said, not the most exciting content, but it's informative. You know, this fabric feels different. I'm just in my own head. I'm probably just in my own head. And it very well could be that it's, you know, being that it's a different dye lot and whatnot, that there's minor changes that you don't see. There we go. There's 8-inch shits, but I need to take 3 inches off of this one, or these two, because they're shorter, slightly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What I'd really like to get at some point is one of those fabric cutter things. That'd be cool. Then you just fucking feed your material into the machine, and then put in whatever program you want, and then just a little laser and just cut shit out just fucking perfectly, nice and precise. That would be pretty cool. But there again, that's way down the road. That's if at some point I actually try to start like an actual business and try to actually make money and whatnot, and I'd have to sell a bunch of shit before I even thought about before I even thought about getting one of those. So anyway, so there we go. That's those. Pull this shit out of the way. Oh, fuck. Duh. I already had these two. I fucked up on my other pattern. So we'll just save those. We'll use this. It's fine. It's fine. So these are good. So I need to cut the Velcro. What is the Velcro? I believe that was 4 inches. Yeah, 4 inches. 4 inches from your chest, Bob. 4 inches. One, 2, 3. hi, Bitey. I didn't see you down there. I got a stowaway down here. This is Bitey. Oh, slight off camera. That's Bitey. Hiding in the shadows. Yeah. And then, with me always, is my trusty Nala. Nala. So now, I got all that cut out. So, try to do a, what's his name, a Maxim Batty, or whatever his name is. So, alright. I think what I'll do is hang up my pattern. I need to make a pattern folder or pattern file or some shit. Try to get the best camera angle here. Get down like that. There we go. Pardon me. Turn it around like that. And toss it down like that. Okay. Okay. What you doing, Nala? You just gonna stare at me? I'll flatten out my Velcro. As everybody knows, if you want to be tactical, you need Velcro. Okay, so those. So I think I'll do the top seam first. So fold it over. Do about a 1/2 inch seam or so. That's what I leave. I leave some slack in my measurements, so that way, dimensionally things come out the way I was looking to do it. So I allow for the 1/2 inch seam or 1/4 inch seam or whatever seam I'm trying to do. Boom. Not many people watching tonight. I don't really care though. It's not like I'm trying to be famous or anything like that. Just figure I'd go live for a little bit and kind of check it out. Down a little bit. What I adjusted there is it's the number of stitches per inch. Or no, or it might be set up per millimeter. But anyway, yeah. So I tighten it up a little bit. That way it leaves me with more stitches per inch. But then again, it's a balancing act, because you don't want to go too much, because then you just kind of you're wasting material, but also you're running the risk of like it's like pounding too many nails into a board that you're trying to, you say you want to pound two, you want to nail two boards together, right? You know, one or two, 3 nails is good, maybe even 4, but like 17 is just going to kind of break the wood apart. Same thing with stitches. You want to get enough stitches in there to where the seam is strong, but not so much to where the physical act of the needle punching through is literally like almost cutting through the material. So much gooder. That. And then we do our Velcro in the flat. That way it's much easier to do. Put the Velcro right underneath. There we go. Gotta get better at this camera work. Okay. There we go. Put your Velcro right underneath that seam for a nice clean look. And then line it up. And actually, I could probably open that up a little bit now. And like I said, I like to do a box X. Listen, you don't always have to do a box X. I mean, the seams are pretty strong the way they are. I think a box X it looks better as well. Oh shit! Oh, damn it! Yeah. I hate when that happens. Yeah. Something snagged somewhere. Something snagged somewhere, so I have to. Yeah. My bobbin. Yeah, see. The camera's gonna pick that up and run. My bobbin kind of came unwound in there. So that happens every once in a while. Yeah, see. When the bobbin comes unwound, it just creates a fucking mess. So sometimes you can get lucky and get the, yeah, fuck. Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, see. That's what happens when the bobbin comes unwound. It just fucking jams it up in there. So what we're gonna do is take the seam ripper and we're just gonna start slicing. Start slicing our way through. Let's see here. There we go. Haha. Let's see what kind of slack we get out of there. Cut all that shit out of there. These seam rippers, they come in handy for not only, you know, breaking seams or whatever, but for doing this shit. There we go. There we go. All clean. So now, wind the bobbin again. Pull that out. Into the hole right there. Wrap it around a few times. Right there. Now if the camera's going to pick that up or not, move over there. Let's see if you can see my hand. Oh, no, God damn it. I want y'all to see this because it's kind of neat. I don't know. Sort of. Oh well. See that? And that winds the bobbin. Put that back down in the bobbin case down there. And through, up, and that down. And thread that through. And put the little protective cover back on. And we're good to go. Let's start running again. Yeah. Might as well just finish that off. And there we go. Nice box X. Like I said, a box X isn't necessarily necessary. I just think it looks better. So I need to make. I'm gonna make 2 more of these. I feel like I'm giving the a sewing tutorial like one of those tactical gear companies I was talking about the last night, SOE, Special Operations Equipment. They that guy he goes live, I think almost nightly, and he gives a tour around his business and then around the shop and whatever. And then a lot of times he gives tutorials on like how to wind your machine, why winding the bobbin is so important, and or just just efficiency lessons and all kinds of shit. And because he wants he likes to see aspiring entrepreneurs kind of start their own shit. So he gives lessons on how not to waste material and time efficiency, like kind of like what I was talking about earlier about making patterns. Just efficiency. So. He's also been in the business for like 30 years, I think. So I mean, the guy's pretty fucking smart. And another box X. One more. Like so. There we go. God, I can't wait until I find a an industrial sewing machine mechanic so I can get this thing fucking running. Because, man, I mean, don't get me wrong, this machine is nice. It's got a lot of torque, punches through a lot of shit, but it's kind of slow. And I got a really kind of small working surface, whereas this thing, I got the whole damn table to work off, which is so much nicer when it comes to you doing some of this shit, you know. So if anybody knows of a industrial sewing machine mechanic, let me know. Because I'm in serious need of one of those. I mean, not like I'm in seriously, like I can't, like I'm dead in the water or anything like that, but it could really come in handy. There again, it might make me a little more efficient. Plus, and that thing is strong as hell too. So I mean, punching through, you know, numerous layers of this shit. You punch through it a lot easier. Clean that up. That up. And hi, bud. Hey, baddie. How you doing? Move down. Melt that down real nice. And there we go. Nice finished flat pieces. I use lighters so damn much. Yeah, when I go to Walmart, every once in a while I buy a pack of them, just because fucking I use them all the damn time. Oh, Misty and Riverland and me and Kimmy. Oh. Alright, so. Oh, hi, Bitey. Batty. Bitey's your brother. Hi, Batty. What you up to? You just kind of hanging out doing cat stuff? Huh? You just gonna sit there and kind of watch? Don't get snagged in the thread. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do these. There we go. Okay. So I think we'll reduce our thread a little bit. We'll start a seam right there. Remember what I said, that whenever you're making, you know, a bag or a pouch or a ruck or anything like that, anything like with like dimension, you do it. Typically, you do it inside out, right? So we're doing these inside out. Sometimes the material doesn't want to cooperate. All right, here we go. There we go. trim that back slightly. Slightly. All right, so you do it inside out, right? So then you flip it right side out, and it creates that nice kind of finished look, right? But now we got to go all the way around, because we don't want this the portion right here that attaches to the bag, so we don't want that we don't want that to unravel on us. So you fold it over by about ½ inch or so. I generally allow about a ½ inch seam for doing this. That way allows gives you plenty of material to kind of to fold over, to make sure shit doesn't unravel. But then at the same time, the flip side of that is the portion that goes against the bag right here, because that is going to fold down like so, right? It'll look like that, right? So that amount of material right there, that allows enough space for the presser foot to be able to kind of get into the corner there and get a good grip on it, or get a good purchase on it, and give you some good stitching. All right, so. This part's kind of a pain in the ass. Can I help you there, baddie? Or baddie? Okay. So. Fold that over like so. This is where I like to step up my number of stitches, or reduce my number of stitches. That way the presser foot moves. You reaching at me? Reach back at you. But typically I reduce my number of stitches. That way the presser foot moves faster. And allows you to get over that hump of material there, because the reality is when you're once you fold that over, you're actually trying to punch through 4 layers now, and sometimes there's a little difficulty of feeding that material underneath the presser foot, and sometimes it will snag on you. So if you can kind of move it along, it allows you to makes it a little easier to feed that hump of material underneath the presser foot there. So you don't get a big old fucking clump of. There we go. There we go. And fold that over like so. Like I said, I try to do half inch. Sometimes it moves down about like 3/8 of an inch, or just because the material. That's another thing you learn about sewing, especially with the machine, is when you're feeding material into a machine. There's the material itself will stretch different directions. The thread itself will stretch different directions. The tension on the thread will stretch in different directions. So I mean, so you plan for it to move forward, nice and neat, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the material will push out. You know, it'll push out, and it just does the weirdest shit sometimes. So that's where just practice. That's where just practice comes into play. There we go.